Hey, one and all, Chris Courtney here in the pre-show for Feedback Loop. Hope you're doing well. It's a lovely Monday morning, and we've got a few fun things in here. Wanted to actually point out. I'm going to pull this up while we're waiting on CouchBot to finally get going. There we go. There's a couple of new services out for networking that I think are really interesting. We're going to make sure to mention those as well while we're here. I do not know why I just did that though, so I apologize. Anyway, so how's it going? You know, we had some really good news this weekend. Good news today, actually, this morning. If you've been following along, if you've watched any of the feedback loops recently, you'll know that, or if you maybe you're in the Discord channel, you'll know that we have students literally all over the place, the world even. We get updates from people about what's going on with COVID from all corners, and one of our very first students, Eve, had a scare. We've been talking about it in the Discord channel. Don't know if you've noticed or if you've seen it this morning, but Eve checked in and said that everything came back negative on the COVID test. So we are super happy for her and her significant other. We really don't want anybody getting it. I mean, not even like our worst enemies. Not even like my old boss. Like nobody. So hopefully you are doing well where you are. We know Eve is relieved, as we are as well. And you know, we've had students in a couple of the hotspots. Actually, that seems to be where all of our students are. New York, LA, Seattle. Rebecca's over there. She mentioned she was preparing to batten down the hatch again for the second time in Israel. So things are still pretty tough. That's one of the big reasons why I've been focusing on pushing more material out for remote working, remote testing, remote scheduling. I mean, I really think that's going to be the way it is. And the longer we stay in this mode, the more likely it is we're going to stick with this for the long haul moving forward. So while I was pulling for remote to be a thing, like forever, I've always said, hey, remote is the way to go. I've been working remotely since since 2014, in some manner since 2014. Been working remotely, and actually, you know, I did a lot of remote work. I was sick back in 2010, and instead of going into the office, I did a lot of work at home. And the big thing we used then was just Dropbox had just come out. Believe it or not, Dropbox is a decade old, people. And when Dropbox came out, it made it to where remote working was feasible. And that was kind of one of the first opportunities I got to peek in at, you know, could you just work from home? And yeah, the answer is yeah, of course you could. CouchBot fired. So let's get this underway. Greetings, one and all. Chris Courtney here, new Pragmatic. It's time for the feedback loop. So good to have you along this Monday morning. We've got a few things here in the cooker for today. Eve is in, Charlie's in. Two radically different directions. Eve is testing one of her projects. She's actually testing a flow. She's already gone through and done the big product test. So we're going to be helping her out with a maze test. This is the first maze test that we've seen because Maze recently added Figma as a testing option. and you'll be able to get a first look at that today. Additionally, Charlie's doing some beginning to clean up his cover letter, and when you're in the job search, cover letters, they're really like an icebreaker. I mean, how else is somebody supposed to know who you are when you knock on their door and they weren't expecting you? Like a cover letter really helps with that. And then finally, I want to take a second. Let's go ahead and share my screen. Let's just get this underway so we can do this. Lunch Club. Lunch Club is a relatively new thing. Lunchclub.ai. I'm not really sure what the AI part is, to be honest with you. I've had a few students bring this up. Matt brought it up in the channel. Luigi mentioned it. So it seems like in this remote COVID world where we can't go to meetups, we need other alternatives. And Lunch Club, I'm guessing somebody probably had this idea of, hey, how do we do one-on-one connections? And then like COVID hit, and it was like perfect timing. So this is not something I think spun up because of COVID. I think it's something that's riding the COVID wave. Anyway, this is it says curated one-on-one professional connections, and basically you tell Lunch Club who you are, and each week it connects you with somebody who it thinks you should meet with. It's interesting. I don't quite know what to do with it yet. But I definitely see this as a new networking, having networking potential. So, you might meet somebody like Ian or Natalie or Anastasia. And this is backed by Andreessen Horowitz, which catches my attention. That's not a company that just puts money behind random things. So I would give this a look. If you're in that networking phase and you no longer have the ability to go to a physical space, COVID, this might be an opportunity to continue facilitating those interactions. And I got to be honest with you, I've talked about this before. I really, 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 really like the efficiency of remote networking. Who wants to drive anywhere? Why would you want to like carry your body to another place where people are, COVID, and then hang out on the side of a wall? Like have like a one-on-one conversation with somebody who you might benefit from talking to. And that's what I like about this opportunity, is it's going to curate that potential connection based on what you're telling it about yourself. If anybody gets in here and does something with Lunch Club, please report back. Let me know how it's working for you, because this is something that's, like I said, brand new, and I would love to know more. I would love to have, not just my opinion on it. I'd love your opinion on it. So check out Lunch Club and then hit us back. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to jump into Charlie first. Eve's hanging out over here, and we'll talk about why Eve and May's design is over there in the realm of Chrome. You all know that I typically use Firefox, and I use Firefox mainly for the testing tools. The inspect element tools, I believe, are better in Firefox. That's just where I'm comfortable. Do I like it like more as a browser? It's fine. It's fine, but I like it for testing. All right, back here to Charlie. So when I look at cover letters, I have, Charlie, I've not read this. Okay, I've not read it at all, but there's a structure that I tend to push students toward to basically create a flow. One, I am always, well, I should back up. In the past, when I've done hiring, I've always been keenly aware of when somebody is just spamming everybody that's made a job post, and when they've actually done the research about where I'm at, and who I am, and not only who I am, but what my company does. I've done hiring at 4 different organizations at this point, so I've seen applications come in all shapes and sizes. You don't have to kiss anybody's ass. Okay, that's not the point. The point is, are you aware of what we do? Do you know what we do here? This is not a Wendy's, okay? This is a design shop. We do certain things here, and that's the first thing I'm looking for in that first paragraph. Like, do you know what we do here? Do you know anything about us? Because I've gotten a lot of cover letters that say something along the lines of, I'd be a great fit for your organization. I do a lot of social media posts, and I'm a social media. I can really drive a lot of traffic. It's like, but I'm looking for a designer who can like design interfaces, or I'm looking to hire mentors, or like I'm not looking for whatever it is that you're selling. You know, so that's the first thing. Like I want to know that you know where you're applying. Like right up top. Like why do you want to work here? Why do you think this? Why is this a place you want to work at? Second thing is now that you've identified, like you are aware of what you're applying for, now tell me why you're the candidate I should consider. Like once you told me, like, you know, hey, I think your place is awesome. A little bit of why. Now, tell me how you can make it more awesome. Okay? Don't come in telling me that you can make everything awesome, because I'm not convinced that you know where you're applying, and that's not saying anything about you, Charlie. It's saying everything about, and really Charlie wrote this, but I haven't read it yet. Charlie is anybody who's applying. I have to put you all in the same bucket because so many people abuse job applications. They just like throw the same thing at everybody. It's like ninja stars. All right? So, something to keep in mind there. Tell me why you think this place is awesome, and that prove to me you know where you're applying. Then tell me how, and then wrap it up, because I don't have all day to read cover letters. Like I'm thinking 3 paragraphs tops, okay? So, let's turn our attention here. Charlie, UX designer, bunch of stuff here. Oh, to whom it may concern. Is this a suicide note? No. Let's not do that one. Dear hiring team? Now, like, obviously, I would prefer, like, Mr. Mrs. such and such, you know, dear Chad, like, whoever it is you're applying to. But oftentimes, I'll be the first to admit, you don't know who you're applying to because they haven't indicated who is making the post. Additionally, oftentimes, I see somebody, like, share something on LinkedIn or on Twitter, and they're sharing it, but they didn't post it. So addressing them is the wrong idea. So I would go with the generic dear hiring team, or, you know, dear hiring committee, like something that says, hey, whoever's hiring for this job, I want to talk to them. Okay? To whom it may concern, a little bleak, to be honest with you. So, let's get into this first paragraph. As someone with a passion for holistic, user-centered hyphen, and by the way, this is what Grammarly does for you. Like, and this is hyphen. Note taking. I think note taking's like maybe. Anyway, as someone with a passion for holistic, user-centered design, from concept to implementation, I found the UX designer position working on Valorant very intriguing. I've been playing Valorant through most of the beta and would love to bring my passion for this game to bring my passion for this game to enhance the user experience for for this fantastic tactical shooter. I have been passionate about the games industry as a whole, or I am passionate about the. I am passionate, like I have been, as like in the past I was passionate about this, but I'm not anymore. I am passionate about the games industry as a whole, and have seen all types of user experiences, which will allow me to fluidly integrate fluidly into your growing team. I'm passionate. I am passionate about the games industry as a whole, and aware of the industry standard regarding user experiences, which will allow me. So, seeing all types, I understand the best practices regarding user experience for the industry. Like, there's something there about have seen all types. Like, I want to nail down that, like, hey, I like this whole industry. I am passionate, and I'm aware of what good UX looks like in a gaming environment. That's what you're trying to get to there. But I think this overall does a pretty good job. Does a pretty good job of identifying the fact that you know what they work on. Okay, so overall, pretty good. A couple things: hyphen, am. So, I created Topspin, a cloud-based note-taking application geared to tennis players and coaches, from ideation to prototype, developing it through the entire design cycle. While designing Topspin, I spent much of my time working to perfect my high-fidelity mock-up to ensure pixel perfection and ease of use. Put the same attention to detail to work in a redesign of the home screen experience for Pandora. I gained new skills with my redesign of Pandora by studying their current app, their style of for consistency, and the ability to use the app while listening to music. I recently have been working for a startup called School Group, designing graphics, images, and assets for use through the company. So that's interesting. I want to take a look at the next paragraph. With that said, I have worked through each of the stages of design on other smaller projects. I am comfortable with popular UI frameworks, designing for iOS and Android, and have kept current and am keeping current. Like there's like a tense there. It's something's off there. With design best practices across multiple platforms. I'm way more interested in that second paragraph than the third paragraph than I was in the second one. The second one's really specific, and without any knowledge of those applications, I frankly want something like, I am a by trade, I'm a flexible designer interested by trade, I'm a flexible designer having I consider myself to be a flexible designer working through with experience working through the entire design process on smaller projects. I'm comfortable working with popular UI frameworks, designing in iOS and Android, or you could just say designing for mobile, and have kept busy, or have kept and am current with design best practices across multiple platforms. I've recently, um, I've recently wrapped up. I've recently built out my portfolio to display my skills or something like that. Second paragraph, I feel, is like just too many little things. I don't agree that all, and I think part of the problem is that second paragraph, it details for me why you're not a fit for Valorant. Valorant is a gaming experience. You're talking about a note-taking app. You're talking about Pandora. You're talking about graphics for a school group. Like none of that sounds like Valorant. So I'm immediately thinking, hey, no. But on the third paragraph, if that was in the same place, I'd be like, oh, so this person's more like a tweener, like a UX UI designer, comfortable with frameworks, designs for mobile, and claims to be current on design best practices. Let's take a look. Like, you can't let the cover letter rule you out. Okay, let your job, the job of the cover letter, is to say, I know who you are. I think I can help you. Go look at my portfolio. That's the job here. So that second paragraph, at least in this particular job, undercuts that, because I'm thinking it doesn't sound like they're working on the right stuff. Now, they could still make that same determination by going to your portfolio and looking at your portfolio and going, or maybe they see something in your portfolio that they like. The whole shebang is, can I get them to the portfolio? All right? Can I get them to click the link and spend a minute looking at my portfolio? I know that does not sound like it should be a hard thing. These people are getting hundreds of applications. DocuSign posted a job looking for a junior designer. They get 800 applications in 8 hours. Okay? They're going to read through this and they're going to go, no, yes, no, yes. This is going to be the first cut, okay, for Valorant. This gets you cut. It's not even bad, okay? It's just not right for that job, okay? So keep that in mind. This, better than that. A little too much detail, okay? And it's like, I don't know what these things are. So, when I became an educator, I learned about designing lessons. I learned about designing lessons differentiated for each type of student in my classroom. I'm struggling with that sentence. These efforts have led me to, through these efforts, I developed a passion for design and user-centered experiences. Like, these efforts have led me to a passion in design and user experience. You were sleepy when you wrote that. I was sleepy last night when I wrote something in the weekly Pragmatic update, and I caught it this morning. And I'm like, there is a difference. There's a definite difference between potential and potentially. And it stops you in your tracks when you see it. And sometimes you have to, these efforts have led me to a passion in design and user. No, we're not doing that. Through these efforts, I have developed a passion for design and user-centered experiences. See, it's just like, a little turn, little twist there. In a previous role as an educator, I learned about designing lessons. I learned how to design lessons that accommodated each type of student in my classroom. that effort led me to develop a passion in design, for design and user-centered experiences. Like, that's the twist, okay? For my efforts, I learned empathy and attention to detail, which I've combined with my user experience skills to help companies such as yours. Like and user-centered experiences. This that work in the classroom taught me empathy and attention to detail, which I've combined, which I've been using to help companies like yours. You've already mentioned user experience skills, and like we've got a lot of that, okay? If hired, I'll bring that same attention to detail to your company, and the designs I create will be so if hired, I'll bring that same attention to detail to your company with if hired, I'll bring that same attention to detail to your company with a passion for solid research that benefits the end user experience. I'm interested in learning more about contributing to Write Games, and look forward to speaking with you. Sincerely, Troy. So, like, there's little twists as we go. Okay, Charlie. There's a little bit of work up here, minor stuff. This I think is this largely disqualifies you. This I think we can if we get rid of this, we can extend this out just a bit. And then there's some real work that needs to happen here to help elevate it. I can feel like it feels to me like this was a real struggle for you to like come up with that end cap, okay? Now, what I'll say here is that these, this paragraph, once you get it finished up, it won't change much from one place to the next. Neither will that, okay? This will change because you got to change out the company name. The real paragraph that's going to change a lot is going to be this one, okay? Right off the start. Because with each company, you want to be focusing your attention on that company. Like it does you little to no good to like send this out if you're not really focusing on who you're writing this for. But when you think about it, I'm basically saying you've got to change out one paragraph per cover letter. All right. Now, I think that second paragraph, in some places, this may work fine. Okay. It's not going to work for Write Games. Write Games needs something else. You don't necessarily directly have it, so you're going to go with the more vague. Let's talk about skills broadly rather than projects specifically. But again, we're trying to get them to take a look at your portfolio. Too much detail here, I may just determine that not interested. Okay, but tweaks. Long story, very short. You need a paragraph that tells them you understand what they do. You need a paragraph that tells them what you do. Again, you've got two here, and I think the second one is stronger than the first. And then you've got to wrap it up. And I think your idea in the end was good. It was better than the execution. The idea of what you're trying to do is in the right area. We just need to wordsmith it a bit. Okay? So, Charlie, thanks for submitting that. Now, let's head over to take a peek at Eve's maze design exercise. Now, this is something that I want to point out something. If I take this maze design, we've opened up a new screen here in Firefox, and I paste it in. What's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. Maze does not work in Firefox. Maze only works in Chrome. First lesson to know about Maze is if your participant doesn't have Chrome loaded, it ain't going to work. Okay? And that is a very frustrating aspect of Maze, but it's been a long-standing problem. It's one of the reasons why I don't like sending out the note, because if somebody clicks on the link and they're not aware, it just loads up a white screen. You're like, I don't know what happened. So be aware of that. So here she says, amazing to meet you. You'll soon start to complete a series of missions and questions. By the way, this is a preview, so we're previewing the test. There's no right or wrong answer, just do what comes naturally. What follows is a succession of interactive designed pages. The final product might differ. When asked to complete an action, you only have to click or tap. It doesn't respond. If it's something that doesn't respond, if something doesn't respond on click, it's not clickable. Okay. So that lays down the ground rules. You know kind of how this sets up for the end user. Now we're going to click to get started. It says, hi. Thank you for taking time to participate in this test. You have one mission to accomplish and 2 questions after that. Take your time to complete it. There are no right or wrong answers. Your feedback is much appreciated. Purchase a regular size 3 meals per week plan. Select a regular size 3 meals per week plan and complete the purchasing process. This includes creating an account. Select the following 3 meals at meals selection. Okay, that piece may be a bit much, but let's give it a shot. Okay, so that goes away. Click the purple bar if you want to see the instructions again. That's good. All right, so we'll continue. So we are supposed to let's close that. So this is how the user would end up seeing this. We are here meant to select a regular size 3 meals per week plan. Well, I see plans up here. So regular, large, regular, 3 meals, dinner for 2, or dinner for 2, or dinner tonight and lunch the next day. Great for family. Okay. Again, I want to come back over here. Regular size 3 meals per week plan. That would seem to be regular size 3 meals per week plan. Okay. So now it's taken me to create an account. I'll hit continue. Okay, so it's meals. This appears to be where I select meals. Let's take a look at panko crusted flank. Okay, there's the flank tacos. There's the rice paper summer rolls. And okay, so panko, flank, summer rolls. Okay. Select how you receive your meals. Okay, please select how you want to receive your meals to continue. Okay, so I'm going to say I would like to carry them out. And oh, okay, well, that's nice. I guess I've got a few other things here. Choose your date. Okay. Now looks like I'm gonna select. Okay, I selected McAllister Square. I'm Mr. or Mrs. Grover here. Grover. Wasn't Grover a Sesame Street character? Is that the one with the nose? Might have been. We've added a tip. Proceed to checkout. Card details. Okay. Billing address. Review order. Okay. I'm carrying it out June 1st. Oh, pro tip, if you're watching this, I always set this for like some ridiculous date in the future. Like it's gonna be because like the when you're running these tests, it always throws people off, like if it's in the past. But if it's in the future, for some reason it works fine if it's in the future. I guess I'm going to pick this up in 2021. But anyway, just something I do. It's a little detail. Otherwise, you kind of have to constantly like update this. Like August 1st, I guess would be the next one. Place order, yeah. It's got everything there. Place order. And okay, well done. You completed the mission. All right, now I know what Eve was really going after there, and you might not. And if you're watching this video, I would love for you to guess. Well, actually, let's complete the mission here because she wants our feedback. Which option did you choose when asked? So which option did you choose when asked to select how you receive your meals? I choose curbside. No, I choose carryout. Okay. Why did you choose that option for receiving your meals? I don't like. No. I don't like to wait at home for deliveries to arrive. Continue. And that's it. And that's the real key, kids. I was going to like make this hey, tell me what you thought she was searching for, but I'll just tell you what she was searching for. She was trying to figure out if people could see multiple options for delivery. She put a lot of emphasis on select these certain dishes and select this meal plan, but what she was really testing for was whether or not people would choose something other than delivery. And as you can see, the whole test was just a mirage until that point. So great job, Eve. I love the fact that you were able to obscure what you were really going after there. It was really well done. I wish Maze worked in more than just Chrome. And that's going to do it, folks. That is it for this edition of the Feedback Loop. I hope you found it beneficial. Charlie, thanks for submitting that cover letter. Eve, thanks for giving us a quick peek into Maze design. And everybody go check out Lunch Club. Without further ado, I'm Chris Courtney for the Feedback Loop. Thanks for watching. See ya.